What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again for another BFR. So last night at 4 p.m., early game on the Pacific Coast, as on January 17th, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Hawks played their 39th game of the season in Seattle, their second time visiting Seattle after beating them 4-2 in the first meeting. The Hawks lose 3-2 in a shootout, and honestly, they were lucky to get that point. They should not have gotten that point. In the third, they were awful. Fleury was the only reason they got there, and we'll get right into this. So their record moves to 15, 18, and 6. They're 2 points behind sixth place Dallas, so they're starting to catch up finally. Shots 37 to 27 Seattle, hits 21 to 12 Chicago, faceoffs 24-23 Chicago. Chicago 1 for 5 on the power play, Seattle 0 for 3. Fleury saves 35 out of 37, Grubauer saves 25 out of 27. Hardman was in, Reichel was out. So Reichel got his 2-game stint in the NHL, and now he goes back to the minors. McCabe is back from protocol, and Galvis was out. So a lot of notes here in the first. Good save on Appleton early at 15:32. It's a Chicago penalty to Kubalik for interference, which was awful. It was an awful call. It was not interference. The puck was not even. The puck was close to them. They're both going for it, and Kubalik was trying to get there before him, so he goes in front of him, but he doesn't hit him or anything. So that's not interference. That's an awful call. They would kill it. A Hagel chance missed. Donskoy had a chance that then missed. At 10-12, it's a Chicago penalty to Kara for cross-checking, which would be killed. Donato chance was a swing and a miss. DeBrincat nearly got flipped over. Blackwell's shot was blocked by Stillman, and then Yarncroke had 2 point-blank shots that were stopped. Hagel was slow getting off the ice. He was fine. DeBrincat to Kubalik was denied by Grubauer. There was a good save on Eberle, and then Donato nearly had a goal on a wraparound, but was saved. Hardman laid out McCann. After he laid out McCann, he fought Borgen. They both got 5 minutes. But then at 1:39, Seattle gets the penalty. Borgen for the instigator penalty, the unsportsmanlike conduct, which is a stupid penalty. You should not get a penalty for defending your teammates. They would kill it. Tays and DeBrincat had chances that were saved. Gustafsson had a stupid play causing a face-off to be outside the zone to start the power play. But yeah, that was all that pretty much happened that period. Moving on to the second. Eberle and McCann had shots denied. The Hawks started on the power play. And then DeBrincat turnover leads to a one-on-one with McCabe and Gord, which led to nothing. And then at 11:29, it's a Seattle penalty to Donskoy for interference, which would be killed. There was a great block by Carpenter, and then the shots. There were shots almost going in that were rebounding for Seattle. That was already the start of it. Hawks were doing good shot blocking. Hagel had a great no-look pass, and then McCabe had a good hit on McCann. Then at 7:54, it's a Chicago breakaway goal from Dominic Kubalik, his 9th of the season, and his 3rd in 3 games. So he's finally getting back on track, which is great for him. Gustafsson with the assist to make it 1-0. Gustafsson had a great block, and then he just shot it down, passed it all the way down to Kubalik. Was in on the breakaway, he scores, and it's 1-0 Chicago. But then about 2 minutes and 55 seconds later, it's a Seattle goal from Vince Dunn. It deflects off Stillman, but it's his 4th of the year from Larson and Shahan to make it 1-1. And then McCabe was denied right after, and then DeHaan had a slapper denied. Then at 4:11, it's a Seattle penalty to Dunn for tripping. And on that power play, the Hawks would score as at 2:54. It's a Chicago power play goal from Brandon Hagel. He got a rebound on a wide-open net, his 10th of the year. So he's on pace for 20 goals, which would be phenomenal out of someone who's being paid $1.5 million. From Kane and Kubalik to make it 2-1. The Hawks had a lot of turnovers. Seattle was pressuring. Giordano had a chance that was stopped. And then at 2:32, it's a Seattle penalty to Alexiak, which would be killed. And we go to the third, where DeBrincat gets one past Grubauer, but it would not go in. And then at 17:58, it's a Seattle goal from Ryan Donato, his 9th of the year, unassisted. Probably their second best goal scorer on the team, to be honest, to make it 2-2. That goal was unassisted as it was on a turnover. It was a 2-on-1 as well, so what can you do about that? Fleury, and it's even worse is that Fleury had it, he had saved it, and then Caleb Jones ran into him, and he lost it, and Donato got his own rebound, and that's how it went in. Then Tays nearly pulled off a 1-on-3. Then at 17-11, it's a Seattle penalty to Dunn again, this time for holding the stick. It would be killed. Larson fans in a point-blank shot. The game was getting fast and physical. Kubalik's broken stick was on the ice, and it was making some great plays, to be honest. It was pretty funny. Fleury had an incredible save on McCann. You see it all. I've seen it all over Instagram, over YouTube, TikTok, everywhere you can see anything. It's all over. It's save of the week probably, and it's just wow. He's been doing this he's made plenty of these saves in Chicago because he's needed to, and he's the reason they're getting points and getting back into a decent spot in the standings. So then at 12:45, it's a Chicago penalty to Jones for interference. Caleb Jones. Seth Jones is not back yet. So that was killed. Grubauer was down. Hawks couldn't get it in. McCann took a puck to the face. Chaos was ensuing on a delayed penalty for Chicago. Stillman takes McCann down on a breakaway, so that resulted in a penalty shot. And McCann penalty shot was at 6:26, and it was saved by Fleury. So Fleury, great save, keeping the Hawks in the game. The Hawks were quite lucky to be alive at this point. This was all Seattle dominance. You would not know this team had won 10 games. That's how bad the Hawks were playing. Hagel then got cross-checked into the boards. There was no penalty. Hawks tripping penalty went uncalled. Eberle point blank with 15 seconds left, and that missed, or was saved by Fleury, I should say. We go to overtime. Going into this, the Seattle broke a few new new things. One, they won their first ever game in extra time. They never won a game in overtime or shootout. They had lost 4 previous, and this was their first extra time win. The Hawks were lucky to be in this. Seattle was making good plays, and then Tays dangled through everyone, and then he gives it off to Hagel, who couldn't put it home. Fleury makes a great save, and the puck gets through Fleury and sits on the goal line. Murphy pushed it under his pads, so that was lucky. Fleury with numerous great saves. The Hawks had one chance at entire overtime. Seattle was just running circles around them. They were just so much faster than the Hawks. It was incredible for them. It makes me wonder how they've only won 10 games. We are lucky to have Fleury. I wrote down at that point. Dunn hits post with 2 seconds left in overtime, and then there's just Seattle dominance. And we go to the shootout where Seattle chooses to shoot first. Eberle hits the Eberle doesn't score. He gets the X, and Fleury took up all the room, and it goes off the outside of the post and out. Tays then goes, saved. Donato then went. He scored. Kane then went. He missed. It was saved by Grubauer, I should say. And Donskoy then scores and gets Seattle the win. And then I just wrote at the bottom of the page, give the win to Fleury. So, the Hawks are now, they lose 3-2 in the shootout. That's game 39. 2 more games left until the halfway mark, which are both against Minnesota. And not until Friday and Saturday, they have a back-to-back, and then that next Monday, they also have to play Colorado. So it's going to be a hard stretch, these next 3 games. I hope they can get one against Minnesota. They played well against Colorado last time before Cale Makar turned into a beast. So we'll see if they can get that done. Seattle breaks a 9-game losing streak. Hawks break a 4-game winning streak. That's really all that happened to them personally. In the standings, you had a few changes. St. Louis and Nashville have switched places. LA has rose through the standings. It's back to 2018 with the 4 teams that are currently in playoff positions there. Calgary and Edmonton still suck. Vancouver getting better. Seattle gets their 11th win. Flyers and Devils swap as the Flyers have lost, I think, now 8 in a row. Capitals and Penguins swap as the Capitals are starting to falter a bit. And that's all I have for you guys today. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.